2-1. Manchester United get 3 points at the Etihad. Pep Guardiola rattled. Haaland rattled. Manchester City rattled. And that's what? 1 win in 11 for them. But let's not focus too much on the opponents and instead focus on what Ruben Amorim did to get 3 points off Man City again. This ain't the first time. He did it last month or so against City in the Champions League with Sporting. But this time he does it with a Manchester United who don't play with a lot of confidence but get the 3 points. After today, I might as well call it the Diallo derby against Manchester City because he absolutely peppered them throughout the entire game. We got a lot to talk about. Penalty shouts, the officiating, but let's be honest, Manchester City did not leave gear one at all throughout the game. They were not a threat, and I really feel like Amorim managed to nullify anything that they potentially tried to do. I'm getting too carried away. Here's 5 things we learned in about 5 minutes. Let's go. Number 1. Before going into the game, let's start. Ruben Amorim is not afraid to drop players. He left Marcus Rashford and Alejandro Garnacho out of the matchday squad. Not only were they not on the bench, they didn't even travel to the Etihad with the team. And this just shows that Ruben Amorim is not afraid to make big decisions and drop big players if necessary. Now, we don't know the reasoning behind this, and I actually hope Ruben Amorim keeps it in-house. What I mean by that is, with the rumours of leaks, with a lot of information coming out, I hope Ruben Amorim gives no context as to why he left them out. At the end of the day, he's the manager. He can make the decisions. The less that we know as fans, the less the fans can argue with each other. It's as simple as that. But Ruben Amorim ain't afraid of personalities. He ain't afraid of the dressing room. He ain't afraid of characters in the dressing room either. He will make the big calls when necessary. And then it's not just the fact that he dropped them, it's what he said as well. He said he watches everything. The way that you walk, the way you talk, the way you eat at Carrington. He even says the way that you put on your kit. He watches everything. And if there's anything unusual in a player's behaviour, he will call it out. And it seems like he did it by doing a big decision and dropping them both. Number 2, Amad Diallo. I'm running out of ways to describe how important he is for this team. Whether he's playing in the 10, whether he's playing as a right wing back, Amad Diallo was the only person today I felt like trying to create something. There was little moments in the game though that I did feel like he was getting to a dead end, but it wasn't just him, it was across that front line. But he kept the energy going. And one thing I love about Amad is that he does not stop pressing. He tries to create something. That penalty, it's all him. I actually think Matheus Nunes should have been sent off. He was the final man. One-on-one opportunity. He prevented a clear-cut one-on-one opportunity for a player. A clear-cut one-on-one situation for a player. I think Matheus Nunes should have been actually sent off. But you know what makes it even funnier is Pep Guardiola's reaction to that penalty. He absolutely lost it. But that penalty put away from Bruno. I love the celebration. He's just standing in front of the fans like this, like, what are you going to say? What are you going to say? But Amad Diallo created all of that just from his perseverance, from pressing. And you know what I also appreciated is that he didn't try and force it by putting it around the keeper first time. Instead, he came back onto his right foot and just waited for the contact. The contact was going to come. And then, of course, that goal. Listen, it's the winner in a derby at the Etihad where Manchester United haven't won in a long time. But it's the way that he puts that ball into the back of the net. It's an amazing finish. I actually didn't even think it was going in. It was going in so slow. I thought a player might have got a foot to it, but they didn't. Amad Diallo, for me, man of the match. Manchester United, listen to me. Ineos, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, whoever's watching this, if you're watching this, get that paper out now and put that contract on the table for Amad Diallo because he deserves it. And if there's any player that deserves to be on the team sheet immediately, every single game, it's Amad Diallo. Get that contract out, slap 6 years on it and give him a new contract. Now, number 3, of course, guys, Manchester United won. And I know you lot are euphoric, but we got to look at the details of the game. I noticed one thing, and this is why I feel like Amorim really had one up on Pep Guardiola tactically. Manchester United identified that they were going to crowd out the midfield. You got Kyle Walker, you got Matheus Nunes playing as a wing-back at some point. So what did Amorim do? Build up, go right, go left, pass side to side, go out to the wide, cause an overload and then switch the ball. Now, my biggest problem is for Manchester United is that when the ball is at the left wing back position in particular, Diogo Dallo's deliveries don't tend to amaze me, not in the slightest. And it stood out for me again today as well. Now, just quickly on that, I really think Man United need an upgrade on left wing back. If they can afford to buy a player in the January, that should be the absolute priority. Manchester United need a much more efficient left wing back. Number 4, crosses, corners, set set pieces. Manchester United concede again from that. But again, it's not just for me the fact that Manchester United concede from that. It's what Man United failed to do on the other side of the pitch. Now, look at this screenshot here, for example. Manchester United are holding on to the ball on the right-hand side. In this particular passage of play, the ball rotates between Bruno, Mazraoui and Ahmad. In the end, Bruno decides to put a ball into the box with only Rasmus Højlund in there. City have 6 players there, 4 of them within the radius of Rasmus Højlund. I don't know how you decide at that point that the best decision to make is to put a cross in. Manchester United also have about 4 to 5 players on the right-hand side, just on the edge of the box. Continue building up the play, try and find some passages rather than just forcing a cross in. And by the way, the cross that Bruno ended up putting in from this particular passage was one that just went over, I think. And last but not least, I don't know if you lot see it, but I definitely can see some clear identities of passages of play. Now, Manchester United clearly do not have the players that are available to do that. And like I said, in the summer, they have to go out and back Ruben Amorim. Whether they choose to sell Marcus Rashford, whatever they decide to do with Mason Mount, who again, I tweeted it earlier today, but I'm going to just say it again for some context. No matter what Mason Mount can offer Ruben Amorim in this system, if he can't stay fit, then Manchester United just have to let go of sentiment, let go of being the nice guy for once and just cut ties with him. It's really unfortunate and I really do feel bad for Mason Mount. But Manchester United is a football club and they need to make tough decisions. So that tough decision with Mason Mount definitely needs to be made. The decision about Marcus Rashford needs to be made. The decision about quite a few players need to be made. Ruben Amorim needs to be backed in the summer so that the patterns of play that we can see right now over the last couple of games can be enhanced, and this time next year Manchester United potentially could be in a better position. Let me know what you thought of the game. Who is your man of the match? Of course, my man of the match goes to Ahmad. Manchester United have a player on their hands, and it just further proves how much of an injustice was done that he was rotting away on Manchester United's bench under Erik ten Hag. Be sure to hit the like button, be sure to subscribe if you guys are new here. Let me know down below what you lot thought of the game.